Imagine a world where the sky kills, sleep means death, and survival is a daily battle. In this video, we reveal the best post-apocalyptic series currently streaming in 2025. Full of tension, chaos, and hope, these stories will make you wonder, would you survive in such a world? Stick around till the end. The final show is an absolute blast. The Eternaut. If you woke up one day and discovered that the world you knew no longer existed, plunged into a deadly radioactive fallout with alien invaders controlling every corner of it, what would you do? Eternaut is a classic science fiction story that takes us on a journey through post-apocalyptic Argentina, where a group of friends must fight not only to survive, but also to preserve the remnants of humanity and freedom. The main character, Juan Salvo, becomes not only a witness, but also a participant in the fight against the invaders and the catastrophe that changed the world forever. This story is full of tension, sacrifice, and hope, showing the strength of the human spirit in the face of the inevitable. Eternaut is a symbol of courage and determination that has inspired generations and is still relevant today. The rain. What would you do if the world as you knew it was destroyed by a mysterious rain that kills anyone who comes into contact with it? The Rain is a post-apocalyptic series that takes us to Scandinavia, where siblings Simone and Rasmus set out to find shelter and answers to questions about the past and future. After a mysterious epidemic caused by radioactive rain, the world has turned into a dangerous place where every step can mean death. On their journey, the heroes meet other survivors with whom they must build trust and face threats not only from outside, but also from within the group. The Rain is a story of survival, family, and the struggle for hope in a world plunged into chaos and fear. Sweet Tooth. This series takes us to a post-apocalypse world where a mysterious catastrophe nearly destroyed humanity and was replaced by hybrids, children who are half man, half animal. At the center of the story is Gus, a boy with deer antlers who embarks on a journey filled with danger to discover his origins and find a safe place he can call home. In a world where hybrids are persecuted and considered a threat, Gus meets a variety of people, from friends to enemies, who change his perception of the world and help him understand what it really means to be human. The series combines elements of fantasy, adventure, and touching stories of family, courage, and hope, even when all seems lost. Sweet Tooth is a story about discovering one's own identity in a world full of chaos and the struggle for survival. Into the Night. After watching Into the Night, one can't help but feel how thin the line between life and death is. This Belgian sci-fi thriller takes us aboard a plane that has become the last safe place for a group of passengers fleeing a deadly threat, the sun's rays, which kill anyone who comes into contact with them. Over the course of one tense night, the characters must not only fight for survival, but also deal with their own fears, conflicts, and secrets that begin to surface. The pressure of the situation forces them to work together despite their differences and tensions, and every minute of the flight is a struggle with uncertainty and fear. Into the Night is a story of determination, hope, and the strength of the human spirit, which makes us wonder how far we can go to survive in a world that has suddenly become dangerous and unpredictable. The Stand. What would happen if a pandemic of a deadly virus decimated humanity, and the remnants of survivors would have to face each other in the ultimate battle between good and evil? The Stand is an epic post-apocalyptic drama that takes us to the world after a global catastrophe, where a divided society forms two opposing factions, one led by the good and charismatic Mother Abigail, and the other by the dark and ruthless Randall Flagg. The series follows the fate of various heroes whose paths cross in the struggle for the future of humanity. It is a story about hope, faith, and redemption, but also about the darkness that lurks in the hearts of people. The Stand combines elements of thriller, drama, and horror to create an engrossing and emotional story about survival and moral choices. Twisted Metal. Imagine a world where chaos and destruction have become commonplace, and survival means participating in a brutal, deadly game. Twisted Metal is a post-apocalyptic action series that takes us to a ruined world where participants, each with their own tragic and complicated past, are thrown into deadly competition on destroyed vehicles. The main character, John Doe, finds himself in the arena of this murderous showdown, where the battle for life is fought not only against opponents, but also against his own demons and traumas. As the skirmishes become more brutal, the participants discover that the prize, the fulfillment of their innermost desires, is worth any price, even the highest. The series is full of dynamic action scenes, surprising twists, and unpredictable events that show how far a person is capable of going to regain control of his fate and find meaning in the chaos. Fallout. When the post-nuclear war world is transformed into a hostile place full of danger, and every day is a struggle for survival, one young woman decides to take a risk and venture outside the safe walls of her crypt. Fallout tells the story of Lucy McLean, whose father is brutally kidnapped by dangerous invaders. Determined to find him, Lucy embarks on a dangerous journey through a destroyed world, where she encounters a variety of characters, from loyal allies to ruthless enemies. Among the ruins of an ancient civilization, she must face mutants, aggressive factions, and her own inner demons. The series combines intense action with deep drama and sci-fi elements to create a thrilling tale of courage, hope, and the search for the meaning of life in a world that barely exists. The Edge of Sleep. You'd never think that sleep could become a deadly threat until everyone who fell asleep is already awake. The Edge of Sleep is a dark thriller that takes us to a world where a mysterious epidemic threatens all of humanity. The main character, Dave Torres, a night watchman, discovers that the night brings death and must fight not only for his life, but also for the survival of those he managed to save. Together with a group of survivors, he tries to find the cause of the disaster and a way to stop it. The series combines elements of horror, drama, and science fiction, offering viewers suspense, excitement, and ongoing questions about the limits of human endurance and the fight for life. Silo. In an underground world that stretches hundreds of stories, humanity lives cut off from the contaminated and dangerous surface. Every day in this vast silo is a struggle for survival, where trust is a scarce commodity and power belongs to the mysterious founders. Juliet Nichols, the engineer in charge of maintaining the generator, is unexpectedly appointed the new sheriff of the silo after the tragic death of her loved one. As she assumes her duties, she begins to uncover dark secrets of the past and corruption among the authorities that threaten the stability of the entire community. Her investigation leads to dangerous confrontations with adversaries willing to do anything to preserve the status quo. Silo combines elements of thriller, drama, and science fiction to create a suspenseful and complex story of courage, the search for truth, and the fight for freedom in a world full of restrictions and manipulation. C. In a world where humanity has lost its sight for generations, and the sense of sight has become only a legend, life is lived in constant darkness and danger. C takes us to a post-apocalyptic future where people must find new ways to survive without one of their most important senses. Baba Voss, a powerful warrior and protector of his family, faces an incredible challenge when his twin children are born with the gift of sight, an ability that could change the fate of an entire community. The series shows the brutality, but also the beauty of a world without sight, where every sound and touch takes on new meaning. Amid conflicts and dangers, Baba Voss must protect his family from enemies who want to destroy this extraordinary power. C is an epic tale of courage, faith, and hope that shines a light into the deepest darkness. Here comes the final series, and trust me, this one's no ordinary ending. It's a full-on blast, more intense than most shows trending on Netflix. And somehow it's still flying under the radar. Before we reveal it, drop a comment. Which series shook you the most? And if raw, underrated apocalypse stories are your thing, hit subscribe. Now get ready. This last one will stay with you long after the credits roll. Day 5. What would you do if suddenly the whole world was plunged into darkness and people started dying after 5 days without sleep? Day 5 Inches is a post-apocalyptic series that shows how humanity struggles with an unknown disease that takes away their most important need: sleep. The main character, Nate, wakes up after 5 days of sleepless nights, which is tantamount to death, and discovers that he must find a way to survive and protect his family in a new, hostile world. The series portrays the struggle for survival in a reality where sleep has become forbidden, and every day is a struggle against exhaustion, fear, and the threat of other survivors. Day 5 Inches is a thrilling story about the power of human determination, family relationships, and hope to survive even the worst disasters.